It's been a while since we've done something like this, but we're going to give it a try because I've been thinking a lot about making golf videos now, and I've enjoyed making them for a variety of reasons. Some of the recent ones have been because I'm, kind of interested in trying out something, or I want to see how a certain idea or theory works over the course of an entire round. But a lot of the times, I just don't really feel like I'm getting anything back from them personally. Like I had originally started recording my rounds. Like the whole reason I even bought the camera in the first place was because I thought that I would be able to use it to get better. And I still subscribe to this theory that, I'm certainly getting more feedback from watching my own footage of me golfing than I would be by not doing that. But it's not really working. Like I thought that it would be like a foolproof strategy because it's something I've used for World of Warcraft and other, online endeavors a lot. And the problem I think is a couple a couple things here. One, everything you ever need to know is on the screen in that game. There's nothing that couldn't be captured. A very obscure thing maybe is alluded, but for the most part, 99% of everything you would need to see is in that recording. That's just not the case when I'm golfing. The equivalent to that would be like a launch monitor, and these things are like $10,000 to track every single element of the swing and potentially even track the wind and everything. So even though I'm recording, it's just not enough. I might even make a great swing, but if it's really windy or something happens that you can't really tell, it's not necessarily because of the swing, but could be something else. You won't know. I even tried the shot tracers and stuff as well, and it's still, it helps, but it's not necessarily it's not the ideal way to do it. So the other thing is I'm not an expert. In that situation I was describing with WoW and other games and other stuff online, I know what I'm looking at. Like I know why I'm making mistakes. It's clear to see. I've seen enough to know. But with golf, I really have no idea. And we're gonna see some stuff here tonight that really it's very frustrating and kind of scares me because I have no idea what's happening at times. But yeah, let's get to it. I want to do this whole round, and it's pretty good. This was actually not bad, despite what I say at the end. It's going to be decent, very very solid round. Weather wasn't great, but so immediately first tee shot, we're hitting. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad, but relatively big fade again, and we lose a lot of distance because of this. So I would say the number one thing that's got me frustrated with golf is the fact that I am constantly hitting long irons into every green. As you see, that was hit well, and we have like 200 yards into this green. So I don't know. I'm not. I just I watch other people play golf, and they're always hitting like pitching wedge into every green from their second shot. So even when they hit it bad, slice it, whatever, pull it, hook it, whatever. They don't hit great drivers all the time, but they just hit it like 100 yards further than me, and I don't really know what I could do about that. Like I don't. It can't. I'm obviously not like lifting weights or doing anything like that, but I doubt it's just that, right? I mean, like that Will Zalatoris guy, that dude's like probably like 100 pounds and he hits it 100 yards farther than me on every club. So it's very frustrating because I think there's two things that are stopping me from scoring, and both of them are like, I'd say the big one is just I cannot hit greens in two. I cannot hit greens in regulation to the point where I feel like a par three, like if it was just 18 par threes, I would probably play very close to par there. I would be a scratch golfer if I could play 18 par threes. But that is obviously not the case. So really, any medium to long par four, I will never make par on. It has to be. I have to hit an immaculate third shot because it's always going to be like this. Like I hit a good drive and a very good second shot, and I have 40 yards left on the shot. So okay, so this has to basically hit the flag. You know what I mean? Or you have to make an amazing putt. But so like yeah, we hit a pretty good shot there, but comes a little left, and then we have relatively long putt in. Not the worst, I've certainly got these in before, but just a little bit offline. Putting's really good today, though. I'll tell you, I have to say, now we've had this putter for like 2 months. It's been spectacular. But so here we go, another one. Just a little fade yet again, and before I set up for all these draws. I spent all this time working on how to hit a draw, and it's just completely gone with anything but an iron. I cannot hit at all with, I don't know if you ever really want to hit a draw with like a wedge or something, but I've never been able to do it with like hybrid, most long irons either, but certainly drivers just completely Like it feels like I'm doing everything I should be doing, and it's just always fading. I'm always hitting the ball off the inside as well. And I look at this footage, I can't really figure out why. I don't see anything different. I've tried moving further away. That might not actually be a good thing. I might be not, maybe I'm reaching for the ball. Too many swing thoughts, as we've said. So anyway, again, probably hit it off the inside, pushed it right. Like that's way off target to the right and super short. So now we're struggling for par. You know, now we're fighting for par. Basically, this has to be perfect to get a really good chance at par here, and it doesn't happen. But we do make a good putt. Putting has been really good, I would say. My distance, like my pace control, has been absolutely spectacular with this putter. I freaking love it. It's the best thing, the best purchase I made golf-wise. So here's par 3. Okay, so we've been playing the par 3s really well. This is a little bit longer one. It's about like 170-ish. We have well, it's usually about like 160-ish, but tee box is a little back today. Green, it's usually pretty firm, but we got to land it there. And it's a little windy, a little downwind, or a little like wind in my face, or whatever you'd say. And it's not that nice out. It's like probably like high 60s. So we hit a pretty good shot here. Nice little fade. See, I could hit it with the iron, no problem. I mean, I don't even know what the difference is there, but it's like butter, man. I'll hit these irons when I hit these irons well with the TP5. It is such a good feeling, and it's just awesome. But you see us set up for a little push fade or push draw here. Ball starts a little bit right in line and curves back. And that should get me some extra yardage, should make it penetrate the wind a bit more, and it should be a better ball all the time, but I just cannot do that with long clubs at all. And you see it's really nice. So, but yeah, unfortunately a little short. Still struggling with that, but just on the front edge, and we have a long putt in for the birdie. So do not come anywhere close to that. Pushed the line way right. Did not really read it properly, but this is to save par, and we will do it. So it's good. Par on par 3s. Like I said, I think I'm probably playing par 3s at like probably if I played 18 par 3s, I'd probably be 9 over. Honestly, I think I legitimately would be 9 over on 18 par 3s. I mean, it depends on what the par 3s are, obviously. If you give me the super long par 3s, then probably not. But yeah, anything like 170 and lower, uh, I could score that. But like, here you go, par 5. Watch this. So it's already in my head. I'm already thinking about it. The last time I played here, I made like triple on both par 5s on this side. And it's like I just cannot hit the ball far enough. Like these people, if you watch like golfers, they're like par 5s. It's a birdie every time. Like if they don't birdie a par 5, they're like, you know what I mean? I'm lucky if I make a bogey. I'm like legitimately to make a par on a par 5. It's like, wow, we got really lucky because that means we have to make 5 good shots instead of 4 good shots, and that just doesn't really happen for me. So that's where we are with that. But so I want to see this because I don't understand. Like this kind of thing keeps creeping into my game, and I don't know what is going on here. Like, what is that? I have no idea. I really don't have any idea. I just like literally strike the ground, I guess. I'm not even sure. But I mean, nothing. So I've watched this footage like 5 times already. I don't know what I did wrong here. The only thing I could think of is the ball is not in the right position in my stance. So like it's catching on the way up instead of at the right time or something. I don't know. But this happens far too often where I just have like a completely wasted tee shot. I just kind of never really feel comfortable. Like there's times when I just cannot feel comfortable over the ball. I just I don't know if it's my body or what, but like I've been having like a lot of weird physical issues too, like my shoulders. I swear I've injured both shoulders somehow. Some days my left arm kills me, and some days my right arm kills me. And it has to be the swing, obviously. I don't know what else it would be, but yeah, it's been tough. So it's like early in the round, it's usually not a problem. Later on, you'll see, but yeah, just kind of like hit the ball and it kind of just bounces off the ground, and we just take a mulligan and perfect. So, that's the thing for me. It's like if I could do that every time, we'd be in good shape. But like I basically have to cheat. Like I have to take like 3 or 4 mulligans around to even have fun because I'm constantly doing that. I just hit a completely uncompetitive shot, and I have no feedback as to why. And even looking at the footage, I don't have any feedback as to why. So here's another bad one. I could see maybe the stance is a bit open. Maybe I'm a little far from the ball. I really don't know. I cannot tell. It doesn't look like anything's wrong. maybe elbows a little flexed in the backswing. I don't. That looks fine to me. I mean, I have no idea, and I just don't make contact with the ball, and it goes like 70 yards forward. So now I have another hybrid into a par 3 or par 5. So I'm now hitting, I barely advanced that, set probably 70 yards, so we still have like 200 yards in. So yeah, my 2 shots combined went for about 300 yards. It's a 500-yard hole. So now we have another long shot in, and this one we're going to pull a bit, kind of overdraws it. It was just a little left, I guess, of target, so we end up still short, though. We would not have made the green anyway, it looks like. But now we have a nice chip in it. This is up and down. You can still make par like this. But I feel like I just, you got to hit green. Like, you want to make pars, you got to hit greens. I just cannot do that in regulation. So it was pretty good. That's a pretty good little pitch. It's about 35 yards. We had a nice shot there. So relatively short, but we still have a good chance for our par, and we do not make it. Not a great read there. I thought it was going to break more than it did, and I guess I didn't start it online, but satisfied with the pace. I was having a lot of trouble with pace and distance control with the old putter, and this is completely, I would say, almost entirely solved this. So, okay, so now looks like everything's good here. This is going to be another par 5, and this time we're going to hit it pretty good down the left side, and we catch the rough. So I've been having a lot of trouble finding balls too. We're going to see that in this hole. I don't necessarily know why. I'd love to talk about that too, because but yeah, the rough is really thick on some holes, and it's not necessarily one of them, but if it was on the right side rough, it would probably be very difficult to find. So I'm happy that I was able to find this, but I'm using a yellow ball. So here we go. So hybrid out of the rough, it just never seems to go well for me. I mean, it's fine. I hit it well, but it's very difficult to make good contact with it, I feel like. And you're going to see very flat, comes out very flat. Let's see, the shot doesn't look, yeah, maybe a little steep, but pretty flat, but it's good. I advanced it shorter than I would want, but it's actually fine. I have an 8-iron in here, so we're fine. And now we are back to this, where we're just freaking dead push right. I mean, I don't even know where that's going. That's probably 40 yards offline. So I don't know. So now we're all the way on the right side, and this is in between a tee box and 2 greens. So I'm down here, and I literally cannot find the golf ball. I hit a yellow golf ball, and I cannot find it. I spend probably 5-10 minutes looking for it, and I cannot find it. So this happens all the time, by the way. I don't normally show this because I just cut it out. It just seems absurd. Like, I did not lose this golf ball. I did not hit it in a hazard. I am not taking a penalty stroke. I'm just going to drop it where it should be because it's for some reason not there. This happens to me all the time, and I'm going to show it at the end of this. I have no idea why I can never find golf. There's like 4 holes on this golf course that I have like a 50% chance to find my golf ball. That's what I feel like. It's like completely up in the air. I don't understand how. The only thing is there's a tree to my left. I looked all around it. I can't find the ball. So I'm just dropping, whatever it's in my head, I guess. But it's a very downhill. You really can't tell. The camera does some correction. But you might even be able to tell because compared to the actual green, the camera is like this. So it's a very, very downhill. I'm very kind of in this very extended posture, and I'm not going to hit a good shot. And of course, we blade it over the green, and it goes into the woods. So at that point, I'm just done. Like, that was a frustrating 2 shots there. Literally lost a golf ball. This is like the 3rd time this has happened on camera, too. I just talked about it in a different video a while ago, too. Like, I just literally cannot find golf balls. If I don't hit that green, they're lost. And I don't know why that is. But anyway, so I'm just taking the max there, which is an 8. I don't know actually how that works, but that's like the 4th handicap hole, so max might be a 7, but regardless, I was probably making 8 there because then I was going to have to, that would have been drop 5, hit 6, and then we would have been in the woods anyway, so it'd probably end up, 6 on, 7, maybe 8, 2 putts, so yeah, probably making triple there anyway. But anyway, another long uphill par 4, well, long for me. But that was hit pretty well. A little flat, but comes out really good, and doesn't run much, still a little wet up here. We got a lot of rain recently, so we have a 6-iron in, and we do not reach. Short and right yet again. Still trouble with this being a little right, but it's actually pretty good. A little bit offline, but it's pretty good. So now we have a nice little pitch, and we leave it a little too long. So the short game has been getting a lot better. I would say. I mean, putting has been amazing. I've gained multiple strokes around from putting, and this is not going to be one of the holes. But yeah, that was just really bad pace there. The only hole all day where I actually did that, I feel like. And then just, yeah, don't get it there. So frustrating double, especially after that last hole. So that was a terrible 2 holes, but now we're on a very short par 4. Really, I should probably be hitting driver here, honestly. It's very narrow, but this is a hole that I should be making birdie on. And I was thinking about it, like I said, it just looks so effortless. Like when these, I watch people play golf on YouTube and stuff. And it's like, or pros too, like good players, like not even like pros, but just players who aren't bad, like players who are going to expect to shoot like in the 80s or lower, and they just don't have this issue. Like if their shot isn't perfect, it doesn't matter. Like they could hit 40 yards offline and they're still going to have a chance to reach the green. That cannot happen. That will not happen for me. I have to hit a perfect first shot. So a hole like this is kind of a gift, and I'm probably spitting in its face by not taking it. But yeah, I'm hitting 6-iron here just to make sure I hit the fairway, because I feel like even though it is so short, it doesn't really matter as long as I have a good iron shot in. So I leave myself with like an 8-iron in, and it's perfect. I can tell you, man, some of these freaking iron shots are just, I wish I could bottle that and do that every single time, because if I did, it would be so much more enjoyable. But anyway, so we have about I think it's actually 7-iron in. I'm not feeling particularly confident hitting it very far today. And we actually didn't hit it, the tee shot, very well either. So, or like it didn't go very far. Usually we're closer to that tree on the right there. So we have a little bit longer in, but it's downhill. So we hit a nice little 7, and a little bit again to the right, but it's going to hit the back and just roll off. So now this is probably, this is a turning point for the round right here. So we're just off the fringe, and we have a nice little wedge, and look at this TP5. I'll tell you what, we got to watch that again, man. This TP5, I'll tell you, I love this ball around the greens, man. Oh my God, you see that? Honestly, if it didn't check up like that, it might have went in. So it's excellent, and obviously we're going to make a par there. So yeah, we just went from triple, double to par, and now it's probably my favorite hole on the course. Honestly, this is like, I feel like this is where if I ever walk 9, this is kind of like the end, because the next hole absolutely sucks. But this is probably my favorite hole on the course. It's like got enough going on, you know what I mean? It's like a shorter par 5 or par 3. It's got bunker. It's got like a kind of a U-shaped green, so there's like a lot mechanically happening. It's pretty cool. I really like this hole, and it's kind of like secluded. It's kind of completely covered, trees on all sides, so it feels very nice. And I've always got good memories of this hole, so I feel like I play this one exceptionally well. And yet another one. I don't know what's with the artifacting, man. But anyway, perfect shot there. Shot tracer's a little behind, but this is actually hit perfect. I feel like it's right on line. Flag's just about here, and we land a few yards to the right. And I don't think it faded there. I'm going to have to say I blame the wind for this one. It's getting a bit windy at this point in the round. And the ball was up there a little knuckly. I was making some weird, it looked like it should have been drawing, and it just kind of went right instead. So I think that's wind. I don't have any, I never factor in wind. But yeah, so that was a pretty good shot. But yeah, bit on right. So we just need to get it up there, and we kind of, again, kind of leave it a little bit right of target, and a little bit long in here still. So another big putt here, turning point of this round. I feel like it's it could unravel quickly, but these last 2 holes really help. So I just wanted to show that too, because I feel like this setup has been really good for me. I kind of learned it from Bryson, and I guess other people do it too, but basically just line the long putter up with the ball and show the end hitting the flag, and you will have a very good chance of it going that direction. So it's not ideal, because sometimes I feel like the ball is not, like the ball should be like this, right? Sometimes the ball's like this. So then it's like I'm not over top of the ball with the alignment on the putter. I'm not really sure how to be sure of that, but I think I need to mark the ball with like a marker. But
Come on, go. Yes.
Boom. Okay, that counts. Doesn't go in a lot. These flags are always leaning up here, but that counts. So that's another par. It's very good. So now we have a it's definitely the longest par 4 here, and it is severely uphill. So it's a very, very hard hole for us. If you're new somehow to watching this, you will know I almost never. I'm definitely not making par here. It would have to be insanely. I'd have to basically hole out. but I struggle for bogey. Bogey is like a very good score in this hole for me. It's basically a par for me. So this is a very good look at this hole. We're gonna hit driver. The boxes often this you can't really tell, but it's like a very weird box. It's very long, and it'd probably be a good 20 yards up there if we were at the front. So instead, not hitting it very well. So I figured let's just go driver. I haven't been hitting the hybrid well in this round either. So I was like, let's just go driver. And a little, small fade, but it's perfect. Dead center kind of splits the middle of the fairway, although that's not really ideal because the fairway is kind of very slopey at that point. The ideal shot is actually right over this tree with the little draw. If we landed right in front of that tree, we would be in very flat territory and much closer to the hole because it kind of goes like this. But yeah, that's not bad. We have a very good second shot in. And we're taking an iron here, even though like I probably like 220 left at this point. So we definitely aren't getting there with the hybrid one way or the other. So I figured we might as well just hit an iron, make sure we get it in the air, make sure we don't make any silly mistakes. Like it should be easier to do that with this club. And no matter what, we're gonna have a pitching, or not a pitching. We're gonna have a pitch in basically. So let's see. We'll make this shot here, and it's pretty good. A little short. I think I hit a little chunky, but it's also a little rainy. So. And then we have that, we kind of duff it, and as you, this is, somebody was just talking about this the other day on one of the streams. They're like, oh, I'm so jealous, I'm envious of this golf course, you're always the only one there. And I said, yes, that's true, but when there is somebody else there, be wary, because they do shit like this. This is a golfer who is coming down the 9th hole. What are you doing? And as I am making my swing, I see him coming around. I hear him too. And I'm like, what are you doing? So anyway, not going to blame that bad shot on that. But yeah, don't get to the green. So that's not good. But anyway, we have still a small wedge in. Ideally, we'd land it close. But of course, that is not going to happen. Instead, we'll land it a bit short and to the left. And we have a relatively long putt. It's a pretty long putt in, probably like 20 some feet in. And putter doing work today, man. I'll tell you what.
Oh, yes.
Boom. That is a bogey on the hardest hole in the golf course for me. Very, 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 very happy with that. So whenever I make bogey, or especially if I made lower than that there, it's going to be a good round because that is usually a double, if not a triple. I almost always, like, I've shot in the 80s with that having a triple on it. So that's a really big deal. It's a really good hole for the way we've been playing. So again, let's keep going with driver. Driver's been pretty good for us, even though we're still fading it. I'm very satisfied with that, and that is a slice. That is not a fade. Serious left to right action. I'm just not really sure why, but fine. I mean, it's pretty far. A couple, a couple last videos ago, we had perfect shots, and they were more up here. But yeah, we're on the right side, a little slanty, so the ball's a little below my feet. But I think it's just pretty far. It's the problem. It's another very long par 5. So we had, the hybrid, and just kind of, ideally we'd be up in the fairway here, but we're kind of in the back side of the rough. It's kind of like just untended area because the fairway is not started yet. It's like a big ravine. But okay, so now we have another ball that's way below my feet. Another one that I'm struggling with a lot right now. Can never get comfortable, and we just kind of push it way right, clips those trees on the way down, and we are very short of the green. So we have this is a very interesting spot here. I've actually hit from this twice now, and this is like extremely, extremely soft land here. I don't know what's happened here. I think they probably had to build it up. They probably built all this up and made this like look like this or something. I'm not really sure what this is because it's like a big hill and then a big kind of flat area, and then it goes all the way down. So I would imagine that that's why this is like this. It's like hitting out of a sand bunker, honestly. I've had this shot a few times now. But we're ready for it, and we had a pretty good shot. I feel like I made a really good swing there, but just wasn't too comfortable with the distance, and we are just short. So now we have another small chip in, and chipping's been really good today. If that was online again, that's probably going in, so really good. And another, there we go, another good putt, another bogey. So okay, short par 3. Hit that perfect, just a bit right again. It doesn't really draw there, so we missed a shot. Yeah, I missed a shot in the editing, I guess. Anyway, I landed up right around here-ish, kind of had a little, kind of slapped it and kind of bounced it and then let it roll, and it didn't go as far as I wanted it to. So this is for par, and we do not make it. We just miss it. But yeah, putting has been, I'm telling you, really good. So that's a bogey there. Okay, now another short par 4, bit of a harsh dog leg left. Just want to hit the middle of the fairway. Ideally, yeah, that's kind of where I want to be. I kind of like a right side of the fairway because it gives us a nice even 100 yards in. This gives us about 85-ish, kind of like 87-ish. Not a great distance for me. I always struggle. It's ironic, but I don't actually want to hit the middle here. So, but yeah, let's see. Setup, I mean, I guess it's a bit right? I don't know. It's like everything's going right. Sit well, but yep, just really right. And now again, have a nice little chip in here. And kind of duffed it. Hit it very thin, I guess, and it kind of goes straight and just rolls all the way to the back. But there's the par putts and another relatively decent, but bogey it is. So saying if we make bogey on these 3 holes, they're all very short. The next 3 coming up, par 4 is extremely short. We don't use driver usually. If we make bogey on all 3 of these holes, that's not a good round. So that's the first bogey. Let's see this one. This has been a lot of trouble for me. The hole kind of goes like this, and it's extremely short. So I don't know. Probably should just be hitting hybrid here and just going at the green. I'd probably come very close if I did. But I just feel like it's just super aggressive. I feel like it's a trap because there's all kinds of trees here. I just feel like it's like the green's like over here, so you'd have to kind of hit it above. Which I don't know. It just feels like a trap to me. So I just hit a very low iron, like a 9. I'm hitting 9 iron here. The problem is like if we draw it too much, it's gonna go in the woods because it's just that close. Like it's such a short hole. So that's why I'm hitting 9 iron because I'm like I want to hit the least club possible. I literally just want to be in the fairway. I do not want to be in the trees. If I have to, like I was honestly thinking about just taking like a quarter swing with a hybrid and just kind of topping it down the hill because it's just straight downhill. I mean, literally, if I just get it past the tee box, it's gonna be, I'm gonna have a 9 iron in basically. So I don't know, but hit pretty well. But yeah, a little bit too much left. Luckily, it does not go in the woods. It just hangs on. It's right on the edge, and we have another 9 iron in. But this one I don't catch very clean, and we leave it a little left this time. So decent, but certainly, again, if you're making bogey on these holes, it's not great. And again, a little too much. It was good though. I mean, they're feeling really good. I love these TP5s, man, off the wedges. It feels great. Here's our par putt. I do notice that, you know, I feel like the stance is actually pretty important. And I never really thought about that. But like the times when I miss my line, I feel like it's usually because my stance is off. And I never really thought about that with putting. Like, do you actually have to set up your stance too? I guess so. Okay, so here we go. We're just gonna hit driver here. Like I said, this has been the most consistent club in our bag, honestly, recently, which is kind of crazy. So other than the time when we top it 40 yards, this has been really, really good for us. So man's also cutting just short of the green, or like just these hills. So I'm like, all right, if I hit hybrid and I don't put it online, it's probably gonna hit the guy cutting the grass. So let's just go driver. Another pretty big fade, pretty low too. Doesn't really get up very high, but doesn't matter at this hole. Another very short hole, but now we have this insane upslope. This is like probably the hardest shot on the course for me. I feel like this is probably like a 30% conversion rate. To even hit the green is extremely good, but pretty much we have made birdie here a few times because it's like a 260-yard hole. But it's all uphill the second shot, so let's see it happen. We basically just try to kind of push it through and just push the club through. And we end up going pretty long on this one, so make the putt there. And yeah, not online. Not a good putt, but we control the second one and make it here, so. Okay, so that's par. So we made one par out of those 3, so decent. Another long par 4, but this one is a big dog leg, so it sets up pretty well for us right now. I'm ready to go. I'm like, say, just go slice, swing, whatever you know. Don't even care. Don't worry about anything. Just if you hit the fade, you hit the fade. It's fine by me. This hole sets up pretty well for it. So we're gonna rip it, and we are certainly gonna push it right. But it's gonna be pretty safe, and it's not the best actually. But so we're kind of in the trees. See, left probably about 20 yards, and we would have been perfect. But we're in the trees a bit here. We have a nice little opening right here. I'm looking at this, and that's where we're heading. Just got to get it up and over, so I think we just pull out 9-iron, just make sure we get it through there. Yep, perfect. Might have been able to take a more aggressive line and been in a better spot. It's pretty thick rough here, but so now we have about 86 yards in, and again, a little awkward distance for us, and we do not make it. This hit pretty well, but I guess, you know, the rough takes more off it than you expect, so we do not make it on the front. And now, that's a pretty good pitch, to be fair. Kind of didn't really catch it well, but it bounced just short. I've been having a lot of trouble with this. Like, you know, I've been trying to land it on the fringe and let it roll out, and I can't do that. It's very difficult for me. I feel like I always hit it to the flag. I never hit it short and let it roll out, but that was good. Good result. And yeah, we make this one. Very good. So that's a bogey. It's again another hole that's very difficult for us. But now another couple bad shots. So these next 3 holes, I have some bad things to share. By this point, I will say that I'm not in a good state physically. My left wrist and my left shoulder are very sore. And the other thing I would say, like, I don't think this is normal, man. Like, anybody out there golfs regularly, like, should I be in discomfort after the round? I don't know. I don't think so. Like, something is wrong. I don't know what, but I can't imagine that this is the case. But so at this point, it's, you know, it's going to affect a few shots here. And I have to say, like, I feel like this is a bigger deal than it looks like it is, because I'm not comfortable. Like, it doesn't, when I'm not comfortable in the swing, I'm thinking too much about it. And you'll see the results here. So that is, I mean, I don't even know what that is. That's literally, that's just left. So taking a mulligan. I really don't like doing this. I mean, this is super cheaty, but again, I feel like I'm just trying to have fun and try to get better. So if I just be consistently, like, I just discard those shots, because I'm not going to hit that. Like, left side over the trees, got 250 yards in still. No thanks. Take a mulligan, and we hit a pretty good one. Little fadey though yet again. So that was online perfect, and then it kind of pushes out right. So pretty good. This is supposed to be fairway. Doesn't look like it, but this is technically the fairway up here. So we have about 90 yards in. This is really good for us, and we are going to shank it. Okay, so at this point, I'm extremely this. Like, I don't know what this is. I don't know where this came from. I mean, it doesn't look like I don't see anything wrong. I really don't. But it just never goes straight. Just right immediately off the club face, and it's probably more exaggerated than it looks on the shot tracer. I'm pretty sure it probably hits this part of the tree. So the only thing I could say is when I hit this, and this has been happening a lot to me. It's like very common. It's like happens like 2 or 3 times around now. I feel like it just slides off the club face. Like, the first iota of time where the ball meets the club, it feels good, and then the second, it feels terrible. Like, if it's like, oh, that's great, and it just slides right off the club face and just goes dead right. And I don't know what that is, what that feeling is, but that's exactly how I feel, how I would describe it. And yeah, okay, so we're over here in the right trees. It's not really that bad, but of course, on such a short hole, you're really trying to make par here. It should really, and most people would make birdie here easily. But now we're fighting, and we did not really get that. I was worried about the trees, so we left it right yet again. And this is a really good putt. Perfect read, I feel like. It just gets super fast at the end. Look at that. What the hell is that? So here's what I was talking about with the stance, okay? I'm like, okay, this is a tap-in. You know what I mean? This is like a 6-foot putt. I should make this easily. But the stance is like very open. You can even see the hips and the, you know, this outer foot, this forward foot is very open. And it's going to do exactly what you'd expect. So this should have been a bogey. And I just kind of got lackadaisical with it. I'm like, oh, okay. Left to left. Never would have expected that, so. Okay, so here we go. This is the the breakdown moment, really. I feel like at this point I'm now in considerable discomfort, and it's really starting to get on me mentally. So yeah, I'm gonna hit this shot, and it's gonna be a absolute dead shank. That is probably 30 yards, and I'm just extremely frustrated. I have to cut out some some bad moments for us there. You don't want to watch that. Let's watch this one more time. I just don't really understand what this is. I don't know where this has come from, but it happens relatively frequently anymore. Like I said, multiple times around. I mean, everything, like, I don't know what I'm looking at because it doesn't look wrong. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. I guess it's a bit steep. That looks like the arm, maybe the arm should be like here. It's a bit high. That's probably it, honestly. I can think about that. And this is because this arm is like quite sore. Like I really could almost tell like I'm grimacing in the swing. And I don't know. The only thing I was thinking of after the round was like I was trying to like keep my hands more forward, and I don't know. It's probably part of it. Like I'm pushing, kind of like casting and pushing the club into the ball a bit instead of making square contact. Um, I mean, I guess the arms a bit. It should be tucked a little bit more at that point, but I mean that doesn't even look like. I mean, I guess it's yeah. I guess it's coming in contact with the. I don't know. It doesn't really look like it should do that, honestly. It looks like it's just slightly inside, but just kind of scoots 30 yards to the right. So it's really disappointing. But again, another mulligan. I'm gonna actually take a one-stroke penalty to it. I know that's still not what you're supposed to do, but you'll see why. But it's like, okay, so here we go. Perfect, literally dead perfect. I mean, it's the same swing. I literally didn't change anything. I just teed up another ball and hit it, and it's dead. I mean, it's right at the flag. Okay, it's fucking long. It's like literally 20 yards, like 20 feet long too. Like it was perfect. It was exactly where I wanted to hit it, and it's just long. This is the best iron I've hit all day. Okay, so I don't understand that, and that's driving me nuts. It's one of the two things that's driving me nuts. That inconsistency where I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do about it. So we had a nice little. It's pretty good considering how far we were, and this would be for par, but I'm gonna just put 4 on the card because I don't feel like that's a par. That's not. I don't deserve a par after you shank a ball 30 yards off a tee box. So that's that. We have one hole left, par 5, and it's not gonna go any better. This time we do the complete opposite. Kind of just super pull it. I mean, really just hook it. And we're over on the left side there. That is thick over there. I'm not sure they've ever mowed this. Look at this. So this is now the second thing that really drives me crazy. You're going to see it here. So this is an insanely thick rough. Like, yeah, I can barely get the club through. Obviously, I should make a better shot than I do, but very, very thick here and do not get it anywhere out. So now watch this. Now I'm leaving this in. Okay, it's completely unedited. This is me looking for the golf ball. This is what you would see if I was doing a live stream. This is what you would see if I wasn't editing this video. Okay. This is real. I'm not editing this. You're sitting through this because this is what I go through every single round. This goes on for I think like 3.5 minutes. And I don't know what to do. Like I'm telling you, I hit the ball like 30 yards. It went nowhere, and I cannot find it. And part of this, obviously, most of this is probably me, okay? Because I like, as soon as I hit a bad shot, I just immediately stop looking at it. I'm very disgusted. I don't focus on where it ends up at all. So this is definitely on me. But it's like, it's a freaking orange ball, and it's 30 yards in front of me. I should see it, right? Like, am I crazy to say that? That I should see this ball? How do I not? I walked by it twice. I literally walk by this golf ball twice before I finally see it. This is absolutely driving me crazy, dude. It's the thing, it was right there. I just walked by it. You see it on the footage. I will say, if I could just never do this, like if this literally was not part of the sport, if every single time I hit the golf ball, I could just go right to it, I would probably be 3 strokes better. Because this is now, this completely ruins the hole for me. It happened on whatever it was, 5 as well. It just ruins the hole. I just no interest. Like when I spent 5 minutes looking for a ball that I did not even hit poorly. Like I should not lose this golf ball. This is not a lost golf ball. And the thing that does bother me about it is like if you watch like a tour or like a proper like event that's done and it matters, you know what I mean? Your scoring matters. They have like dozens of people helping them look for the golf ball. You know what I mean? There's got to be a way for a single person like myself to be able to find this golf ball easier. Tell me what that way is. I don't know. I've looked everywhere. I don't. There doesn't seem to be any solution to this. But I am so freaking over this. It's unbelievable. It's the least. It is my least favorite thing, like by a mile. I cannot stand this. Walking over and over and over again looking for a ball, and it's freaking orange too. It's literally how do you miss it? But you know, it's also going to take like 70% of the blame. But I will also blame this golf course, man. This is not golf grass. It's literally just clover and whatever's growing on the mountainside here. And oh, I finally found it. There you go. Look how buried that is. Like from this angle, you can't even see the golf ball. It's so ridiculous. But anyway, another trouble with the hybrid getting out. Just carries the water there. Rolls up on the hill. And we have a nice little perched lie here. So just kind of take a nice little swing at it. Pretty good. That's a pretty good shot. So that's pretty much our round there. But yeah, so the major things for me are just, you know, besides like inconsistencies, which I guess everybody has. I just really cannot stand looking for golf balls, like to the point where like I literally, if I could pay like even if it was a nuts amount of money, if I could pay to just have a device or even something in the golf ball that could just show me where this golf ball is before I get up there, it's just so frustrating, dude. I can't stand it. I really can't. It's so frustrating. But yeah, so between that and the shanks, I don't know what those are. Every once in a while, it's like probably like 2 or 3 times around, I just completely dead shank a golf ball. And like some of them aren't, like I said, that the one on 16, it was like not that bad. I just felt like maybe the club face was open and it just kind of rolls off the club face. I don't know. But the tee shot on 17, it's like no, that was this dead right. Literally just went right. I mean, I've hit them where they don't even go forward. They literally just go dead right. It's like goes like 5 yards straight. So yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna probably, frankly, I'm gonna stop golfing for a while and just gonna start going to the range instead. Um, I think I just need to just spend 2 hours on the range instead of 4 hours on the course because this was amazing. The first 15 holes of this were the best golf I've played in months. And then the last 3 holes were like, oh, okay, it was a complete waste of time. It's like completely terrible. If we didn't cheat, you know, take multiple mulligans, we probably would have made. I mean, we were probably on our way for triple on the short par four, but definitely triple on the par three, and didn't do anything. Didn't cheat here, but yeah, made double here. So anyway, but this was just a little bit into the insight, man. This is me trying to be open. Hopefully, somehow it'll help me. But I love the sport, but sometimes it just feels like spinning my wheels. I think the thing that really bothers me is, you know, I've been used to a lot of other activities where it's steady progress. Like progress halts, right? Like I'm stuck at like 19 to 20 range in Mythic Plus in Shadowlands, but it still feels like I could make progress. You know, I'm just kind of waiting for that moment, but doesn't really feel like that with golf for me. It's like I feel like I've plateaued pretty hard. And some days I'll have a really good round. Like, you know, I could get in the 80s. I've had a couple rounds in the 80s, especially last year. We had 2 this year already. But I don't think it's ever going to get lower than that. And to get under 90 consistently, I really need to figure out what's going on physically because I feel like those last 3 holes now are just a product of I kind of just broke down physically. So we're going to have to figure it out. But thanks for watching. I hope that you will have enjoyed this.